So with the year coming to an end, I thought what better way to end the year than to kind of show you my progress where both my investing and personal finances are concerned since I actually started to keep track of it back in July of 2020 and actually started to invest and to do things to fix my personal financial situation, such as saving, budgeting, clearing off bad debt, etc. So in this video, I'm just gonna go over where my net worth is and where things are like and what the plan is for 2025. I hope that this video can be used by you as kind of a blueprint or an example as to how you can kind of approach both your personal finances and your investing. So if this video was helpful, leave a like, favorite the video, and share it out to anybody that's interested, and let's get into what my net worth is currently like. Alright, so to start off, I started to track my net worth back in July of 2020. Now, the app I use for this is Personal Capital or Empower. It's an app slash website that is catered towards a US audience, so it works for tracking like their net worth and stuff. I just personally use it because it's just what I started out with and I just got used to it. So I just decided to stick with using this. So what I did was I went on the website and I kind of got the whole graph and the broad categories so you can get an idea of what things are looking like. So I'm just going to go into it line by line. So as of the recording of this video, my net worth is currently $2.06 million, and that is Jamaican dollars, by the way. It is not US dollars. I wish it was US dollars. That would be nice. But it's Jamaican dollars, right? So I have around $2.1 million in assets and around 67,500 in liabilities. Now, the first line item is cash, which right now that's around 296,000 Jamaican dollars. Next line item is investments. Now, I know what y'all might say. Oh, it just says $13,000 at investment. Well, remember when I told you that this is an app that's suited to tracking like US stuff, like it's for US audiences. It doesn't really work well for like being able to automatically track like your Jamaican investments and stuff like that. So right now, the section for investments, the only thing that is there is just the remaining money I have left over in like a Barita unit trust account that I have. For all the other investment stuff, it's actually in the line item for other assets, because since I have to manually add it anyways, instead of just adding it as an investment account, which this app wouldn't really work well to track that, I just add it as a manual investment or manual asset or other asset. That way I can just put in the figure myself and just changes as it changes. It just makes it easier. If you use the app, you'll know what I mean, but it's easier to add it as other assets. So right now, the only thing that's in the investment section, that's the 13,869, is just a unit trust product that I still have with Barita. The only form of debt I have currently is my credit card, which is $67,500 is the amount I owe on it right now. That's really the only debt that I've had for quite a long time since I actually paid off or cleared off all my debt. Now, when we go into other assets, that's where basically the bulk of stuff is, and this is where like my investments on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, US market, retirement investments are. So I would split this into two main categories. So the first is just my regular stock market investing portfolio, and that would be around $1.3 million of this amount. And then the other 500,000, I think 520,000 of this amount is my retirement investment. So that's what brings up the total to the 2.06 million Jamaican dollars net of the debt that is of 67,500. No, I don't have any physical assets really. I don't have a car. I don't have a house. I mean, I live in a property that I build, but I don't really have like any physical title or document to say that, hey, I own this. So I don't really classify that as an asset, if you get what I'm saying. That's how I personally go about it. So even though it's a house that I live in, I don't pay rent or anything. I contributed towards building it because it's built on family land, it's built on family property. I don't have a deed or like any form of paper to say I own this. I do not classify that in my net worth. Additionally, I don't include like any physical assets that I own, like a laptop or stuff like that. I just couldn't bother with having to work it out. So I don't include like this phone I'm recording on. I don't include this phone. I don't include my Nintendo Switch. I don't include my laptop, any furniture, anything like that. I just don't include that in my net worth calculations. I just can't bother with keeping track of what everything is worth. I just think that would be too much work for me. So that is why the categories are like this. Now, to kind of get into what the plans are for 2025. So for 2025, I have a target of 4 million plus. And that 4 million plus is going to be net of any debt. Now, this is going to kind of be interesting because basically what I'm planning to do is to double what the net worth is now for next year, right? Now, something very interesting to note is that up until like October of 2023, my net worth was like $500,000. And it was extremely hard to get to that point because as a young person that was working at a call center earning like $365 an hour, it was very difficult to get there because I have a child, I have a daughter. I was, of course, building the place that I live in now. And then just like the usual bills, expenses, stuff like that, right? So it was really, really hard to get to that 500,000. Not to mention the fact that I had to clear off debt. I had to be doing other things at the same time because, you know, life happens and, you know, you're still going to enjoy some of your money. You're still going to buy other stuff outside of just saving, investing, everything, right? Because you have stuff to do, right? So it took a really, really, really long time to get to that 500,000 mark. So I got to it around at this point of the graph, I think. So as you can see, a bulk of the time, like I said, I started to record this in July of 2020, and it took me till like October of 2023 to get to 500,000. But one thing you'll notice is that from the point where I got to that 500,000 till present, which is roughly a little over a year and 2 months. Within that year and 2 months, I was able to grow from $500,000 to $2 million. So I basically made 1.5 mil in excess. So I basically made 3 times the amount of money that it took me the whole 3 years plus to make before. And the reason for that is primarily because I got to a position where I cleared off my debt. I saved a lot of money. I started to build actual decent positions in my investments. And then a few investments started to do pretty good. Like in recent times, like in less than a year or so from Jamaica Highway, I made over 200K from dividends, cap gains. Then there was all the IPO flipping. I did short-term trading. I'd use Link every month to take the 67.5 off of my credit card to invest and flip that money. So that really helped me to grow from that 500,000 to that 1.5 million. As well as I just got a better paying job. And one thing this will not show is the fact that I didn't have a job for like, I think 4 or 5 months because I got laid off from my job because we became redundant. So it doesn't include that also came up within that time too. And like I said, I just got a better paying job. Investments started to perform well. I got better at investing, dividends, cap gains, interest. I just kept reinvesting. So the compounding effect got really, really fast. So that's how we grew from basically the 500,000 from October of 2023 all the way up to the 2 million plus that we're at now. So like I said, the goal for next year is 4 million. One major thing that I want to do next year is I want to purchase a car. No, that's why I have, I guess, a bit of cash. I guess it's kind of my emergency fund too, in a sense. But I'm going to build up the cash some more so I can have like a 20-30% down payment on a vehicle. I'm looking to $2.2 to $2.5 million as my budget to purchase that vehicle. So you know that when I do get that, then the liabilities side is going to go up 2 to 2.5 million, as well as the asset side will go up around that amount, similar amount. Not going to be as much because you have to factor in the fact that once you purchase the car, it does lose a portion of its value, right? So you have to factor that in. But ultimately, I want to hit $4 million net of whatever debt I have. So if I have, you know that if I have 2.5 million in debt, I'm going to need to be at 6.5 million to be at that $4 million, for example, right? So that's the goal. By 2025, by I'm 25, I want to deal with that vehicle. Then for 2026, the next goal now is to get my first real estate or investment property and to get into that, right? To create another asset line, I guess you could say. So that's kind of where my mind space is now. I also want to start a business, a company. So maybe that's something for 2027. I try to have one big major goal for each year. But let me know what you think about where my net worth is at. Let me know what you would do different, what you agree with. If you want to share what your net worth is like in the comments, feel free to do that as well. I'd love to hear your opinion. But I thought that this video could help a lot with people that maybe want to figure out how they can approach their finances to get an idea as to kind of what I'm doing. But again, if you like the video, definitely leave a like, favorite the video, and share it out to anybody that's interested. And as always, thank you for the support.